Hello and welcome to Policy Watch, a packed snapshot of the week's biggest business stories, their context, their relevance and policy impact. I'm Govindraj Ethiraj. In a significant move, India's Supreme Court has banned the sale and registration of Bharat Stage or BS3 emission norm compliant vehicles from April 1st, arguing that the health of millions was more important than commercial interests. Now, estimates say some 12,000 crores worth of these vehicles, mostly two-wheelers, are lying unsold at this point. Now, the court wants auto and fuel companies to switch to the more stringent Bharat Stage 4 norms, where vehicles emit much lower carbon monoxide as well as particulate emissions. Now, the question we are asking is, how will this affect auto companies and their health? And more importantly, will the policy objective of lower pollution be achieved, and how? To discuss this, I am joined by Subrata Ray of rating agency ICRA, Ashwin Patil of LKP Securities, both of whom will look at auto companies closely, and auto expert Tutu Dhawan. Thank you all for joining me. Ashwin, let me bring you in here. You've been looking at balance sheets of auto companies as well. So how well is the industry prepared? One is to, of course, absorb the losses arising of it, but more importantly, to convert to BS4 and roll out the new models.
See, the conversion should have been started long back since the industry was aware that from April 1st these norms are going to get implemented. But most of the companies like Hero MotoCorp, Tata Motors, Ashok Leyland, etc. Have shown some sort of reluctance towards it. But on the other hand, Bajaj Auto has converted its entire fleet into BS4 vehicles, and now these companies will require at least some time, short to medium term, like 6 to 7 months, to dispose of the entire inventory that they are having. Like about 3 lakh units are there at Hero's end, out of the 8 lakhs, 8.5 lakhs that are lying as an entire inventory in the industry. So 3 lakhs is actually, if you look at it, it's just like half of what Hero is selling every month. But that is if when these norms are implemented, the company is helpless, but they have actually given a lot of discounts and they are trying to sell off as many vehicles as they can by the end of today. But still there will be some sort of inventories that will be lying, and converting them into BS4 vehicles, BS4 engines will require a lot of investment, and that cost the companies will have to bear, along with whatever losses they will be facing regarding the inventories which are lying right now. So overall it's like a setback to the auto industry, but they can definitely come out of that, but it will require some time, maybe like about 3 to 4 months at least, to convert the entire fleet into BS4 vehicles.
Okay, so what's your sense, Ashwin? How is industry preparing for the next round, and as we transition from this level of environment in emission norms to the next level?
Yes, now BS4 has got implemented, and in 2020 BS6 is going to get implemented. So the companies will always have to be on the ball, and they have to continuously upgrade their engines, and they should become more and more environment friendly and responsible as as a company. And incurring cost is actually the main thing that they have to do, and that may hurt their margins up to some extent. But the increasing demand for vehicles in India is actually that's the main thing that would save them from actually the margin downfall they may see because of this, because huge cost needs to be incurred mainly on the commercial vehicle side, and passenger vehicles have already become BS4 compliant, and now the next thing is for them is BS6 that will happen in 2020. So all the automobile companies have to gear up themselves for the upcoming the move that is going to happen 3 years down the line.
Ashwin, from your side, is there something that you would look out for from a policy point of view in order to make this whole process simpler and the transition easier?
I think that these the cities and the metros are the main issues where main areas where these issues are lying. So maybe like if it would have been possible for Supreme Court or to find some sort of middle path in order to not to punish these companies, the automobile sector, those who have not converted their vehicles from BS3 to BS4, maybe for a month or two they should it's my just judgment that they could have allowed selling of these vehicles in the rural markets where the demand is still there and the pollution levels are not that alarming. So that would have been one solution which could have saved these companies from bearing so much of loss. But nevertheless, I mean, this is my own judgment. But the thing is that going forward, these companies will become more and more aware, and they'll be proactive enough to change their engines from BS3 to BS4 and BS4 to BS6 by 2020. That will be an ongoing process from their end. But yes, I mean, at current point in time, they are in sort of a soup.
And thank you both for joining me. We need to go in for a break. Coming up on the other side, we've got an irregular monsoon coming up. We're going to be joined by DK Joshi and Somijit Neogi on the subject. Stay with us.